I recently came across a PDF on academia.edu that I wanted to share with you guys. A sunken harbor discovered off the coast of Tampa Bay. This is the research of John Jensen, not my own, so I can't attest to everything found within. However, this evidence substantiates some of the topics which are the focus of my channel, such as the Tampa Bay area being the capital seaport of Atlantis. So let's take a look. Tampa Offshore Sunken Harbor. A non-natural harbor 2.2 miles offshore in the open ocean. The old shoreline is estimated to be between 6 feet and 9 feet below current ocean level. Based on the size and length of the Tampa Offshore Sunken Harbor as a major engineering project, a population base large enough to have ready resources to undertake the massive construction components of this size project is required. To complete other massive projects here in Florida, as well as New York, Mexico, and South Africa, around the same relative time frame, suggests a dense Atlantic Rim population density. The Tampa Harbor is located about 2.2 miles offshore in the open ocean. It rests on a high tidal shoulder besides a large land egress channel. Length of the main body of the harbor is something over 9,000 feet to 10,000 feet, with a widened harbor to the left and an additional 3,000-foot exit canal toward the open ocean. Based on harbors of similar sizes today, we can estimate the depth of the cut harbor to be 35 to 40 feet deep. The volume of material cut, transported, and disposed was roughly 45 million cubic yards, at an average cost in dollars today of about 12 per cubic yard. This project looks like the beginning of a colossal engineering project in the $538 million range. At this level of material, a minimum of technical machinery including dredge cutters, piping, barges, and a whole range of equipment would be required. Although mega projects of this size have been accomplished in the past, using manpower alone, such as the Great Wall of China, nothing on this order has ever been shown to have been done in the cutting and dredging of harbors of this size. Nothing on this order has ever been shown to have been done in the cutting and dredging of harbors of this size, while at the same time being involved with several other like projects, as demonstrated by the Boca Grande Harbor, about 70 miles south, and other similar sites. Based on casual observation alone, it is evident this harbor was not completed with manpower alone, but with some very sophisticated machinery and equipment. Ocean depth at the tidal shoulder, edge of the harbor, is estimated to be between 6 feet and 9 feet deep, but could be as much as 12 foot to 15 deep. Those depths place a date certain, based on ocean level rise, of between 7,200 and 7,400 years before present. We think that this civilization was destroyed by a super mega cataclysm, and if so, it is entirely plausible, if not likely, that some residue artifacts in stone, pottery, and possible other unknown materials are preserved in the mud and silt at the bottom of this harbor. We intend to be the first to find out. We are not releasing location coordinates on this site, pending our own expedition dive. If you are interested in joining the expedition to this site, please let us know. Boca Grande Harbor. Above image is a composite of satellite imagery in Google Earth of the Boca Grande Harbor and causeway. 700-foot average width, 5,200-foot length. In addition to this amazing underwater artifact, there is an existing causeway or roadway that extends from the harbor edge northeast, terminating at the second tidal shoulder of the current shoreline. As a rough estimate, this structure as an engineering project would consist of cutting, dredging, removal, and disposal of approximately 8,100,000 cubic yards of material. Total project cost in today's dollars of roughly $6 per cubic yard of material. This project had a budget of just under $50 million. The Boca Grande Harbor sits on the second tidal shoulder and appears to be in the range of 6 feet to 9 feet below current mean tide level. If so, that means its relative build and use date had to be within a very tight window between 7,200 and 7,300 years ago. At that time, the third meltwater pulse ocean level was rising at the rate of more than 5 feet per 100 years. Since ocean rise is established to be slightly more than 5 feet over the last 7,000 years, an additional 3 to 5 would indicate a depth of 6 to 9 feet to be roughly equivalent to 7,200 years ago. Northern section ending at the secondary tidal shoulder, near the shoreline. The entire section is just over 10,300 feet, or 2 miles. The road or causeway that extends from the harbor northeast to the shoreline is about 2 miles long, and is degraded and covered over with sand in several places. This section is more degraded closest to the harbor proper, and then retains its original shape of the section closest to the shoreline. This harbor has many features similar to the Tampa Bay sunken harbor. Both are very near or on the edge of a deep water channel that goes out through the continental shelf to the open ocean. Edges of the harbor edge or shoulder are currently estimated to be between 6 feet and 9 feet beneath mean tide ocean level. Its depth suggests it is contemporary with the Bimini Road, as well as other harbors and canals at this depth. Ocean level rise dating suggests this harbor was inundated between 7,000 and 7,100 years ago. North Key Largo. This site is a series of inlet canals that are grown over and silted in, eroding back into the landscape. The center canal is one of the largest, if older, ones found to date. It is about 2,700 feet long to the end of the silted-in paddle head. The original width is about 350 feet, and the newer section is about 170 feet wide. The older section of the canal is about 445 feet wide, and the newer section is about 220 feet wide. The North Canal is about 85 feet wide. The curved S sections connecting the canals are completely silted in and grown over. To the right, an unused, unconnected cut canal goes out to open water. There is substantial berm around the open water cut canal, indicating it was built when the tidal shift was above water. Of significance is the moat canal surrounding the complex. All indications are that this complex is one of the older shore-based complex systems found to date. It certainly may not date to 7,000 years before present, but it is much older than the 200-odd years our modern culture has been settling the South Florida Keys. It may very well post-date the offshore harbors. Berm soil samples need to be taken here for a relatively accurate C14 dating sample. This complex appears to have 2 building and use periods. One that is less structured and has the appearance of being built on top of the old system. The original berm on this center canal includes the large rectangle paddle head. The second berm seems to have been cut out of the silted over section. It is not possible in this preview to do justice to the many features of this complex, and much fieldwork is required to make serious statements of potential purpose and function. I will agree this complex does not appear to support a 5-foot rise in ocean level, but it certainly could and would support a 1-foot plus raise, putting the date of this complex somewhere between 4,500 and 5,800 years ago. In any case, it is not modern, meaning it was not built in the last 200 or so years of Florida expansion. There are many other shore-based complexes in the Keys that show at least a 3-tiered tidal shoulder that is about 2 feet deep.